Do you find that there are any misconceptions or myths that you would like to clear up when people hear herbal remedies?
There are quite a few. One that comes to mind immediately is there's a magic bullet. So many people ask me, I have A, B, or C. What is the herb I need to take to cure it? That's a loaded question, partly because as an herbalist, I'm not allowed to say treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any disease. So even if I know an herb is helpful for a given situation, I can't indicate that it cures anything or even treats anything. But secondly, the idea of there being a magic bullet, it comes from us being so used to antibiotics now that some antibiotics really do cure a particular condition and they do it very quickly. And so a lot of people superimpose that onto herbs and feel like, well, plants must be the same, but they're not. So one of the things that I like to teach is that plants can be very nourishing, they can be very foundational, they can help you build from within. Sometimes they do change things and get you straightened up very quickly, but for the most part, I like to use plants as, like I said, tonics, nourishing, building herbs that are really food-like. And then, of course, I use reactionary herbs as well. So you have this condition, you use this herb, but there's a lot of nuance to it, and different herbs work with different people differently. They combine in certain ways. So a lot of what I teach is formulary. How do you make these blends and combinations so that they're really potent and relevant to what you're doing? So that's one of the bigger myths that I like to nip in the bud.
You mentioned a magic bullet, and I think that that's how we've been conditioned. We have a headache, so we want to take an aspirin right away and feel better immediately. And I know that herbs can be effective in certain situations. How do we get past having that magic bullet and knowing and learning something that could be just as effective? Because herbs act in a different way.
They do for the most part. So there are some herbs that act really quickly. For instance, motherwort. It's in the mint family. It's a weed. I've seen huge patches of it growing. It can grow as tall as a person, and the leaves are really bitter. So it has lots of effects in the body because it's bitter. It can help your digestion. It can help with nausea. But it's also an anxiolytic, meaning it helps anxiety and panic attacks in particular. So it's called motherwort. Wort means herb, and mother having young children. So when a mom is feeling frazzled and stressed, or a grandmother is helping take care of her grandchildren and just feeling like you're shaking and your nerves are frazzled, motherwort acts very quickly to ease that panic and that feeling of anxiety. So that's a quick one. And then there are other ones that work as first aid. So they're very quick, especially on the skin or for wounds. And then other herbs take quite a while. So in addition to tonics that are very nourishing and food-like, like oats, like the oatmeal that we eat in the morning, roses, nettles, stinging nettles, these are high in nutrients, minerals and vitamins. They're very nourishing. They can be taken long term, every single day if you want, and they really build you from the inside. And then there's another type called an adaptogen. And adaptogen herbs are a little bit different. They are known to build your stamina, help you increase your endurance, and they do that both physically and mentally. So they help build your body's endurance and help you stay awake and help your muscles have vigor, but they also help your mind. And so they help you think more clearly, and they boost your memory, they help cognition, they help clarity of thought. So these are adaptogens, and there's only a handful of those, but they're very interesting and they can be very helpful, especially when people are seeking to improve brain and mental health.